We're live, brothers.
All right. Welcome to the Misfits live stream. You know what I like to do when we get the Misfits together?
Drink bourbon.
I like to look at some baseball cards.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
George, you like to look at some baseball cards, don't you?
All day, every day. Got my drink here from my Prickly Pear Wheat Ale, Grand Canyon Brewing Company. I'm excited that this is happening. I'm excited to be with you guys. This is going to be fun.
Now, George, you got something special. You want to show everybody?
Special. Something special. Do you know something I don't know?
You just teased me with it.
We're off to a great start.
Oh, you want to see this? Okay. This is something I picked up from a collection, and it is about. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the New Scoops box. John, you said 1961. You corrected me from 1960. You could get a pack.
You said 62. I think they're 61.
Yeah, I think you're right. They were 7 cents. Anyway, this is a box, and like I was telling them before the show here, smells like your grandfather's attic.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to smell like. Those cards were fun to collect when I was young because they feature all the great moments, all the great players, and they were cheap.
It's good. So, yeah, they're still cheap, frankly. I think.
Yeah, some of them, a few of them have gone way up from where they were, but they're still cheap compared to others of those same players' cards. Like the Jackie Robinson one went way up in value. I know.
These guys are busting our balls for being late. We're fashionably late. You can't rush perfection.
We are not late. I did say 8 or 9.
That's right.
All right.
Donnie live stream. What have you been up to? You get anything good lately?
No, I haven't bought anything lately, but just been enjoying the cards that I have and making videos off of these cards. So no, I haven't bought anything live or lately.
Yeah, it's important to enjoy what you have sometimes. I've been doing the same thing.
So yeah.
Lou, you have what's the topic you wanted to talk about? You wanted to talk about a topic that everybody on YouTube's talking about, right?
Oh yeah, being burned out. So burned out.
No,
Hall of Famers.
Card price.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, see, I haven't been on YouTube as often. People are talking about 2024 already. It just came out Monday. And besides, this is George's idea to do the first live stream talking about that. So I give credit when
it's fun. I mean, shit, we got so many guys that like everybody has an opinion on, and I think some of these guys are no-brainers, or maybe some of them are not. So I think it'd be that'd be fun, talk some shit about this. And we got Orlando here, 3D80s kid.
Who's here? Holy crap!
Hey,
Misfit.
Look at that.
Oh, the J&D.
Jack and Diet Coke.
Well, that's a good drink, except for the diet part.
Asking where Jake is. Jake's combing his hair right now and putting makeup on. We're waiting on this.
We got Rick to go live. Oh my God!
Holy crap. Figured it out.
I figured it out. I did promote Orlando from A Collector's Dream. He is the first.
I'm worried there might be an asteroid heading to Earth.
Orlando's the first moderator for the channel. This guy's on every live. Figure it'd be.
Give him a wrench.
He got a wrench.
Nice.
Hey Rick, what you get lately?
Rick is always getting something.
Rick, you got something rare lately, didn't you? Recently?
I'm not telling.
Rare.
Are you saving it for your video?
For my once in every 6 month video.
Your once a quarter video.
All right.
This is James Juggball Cards. Bye.
You are the only one representing.
You are.
I texted you guys. No one got back to me.
No.
Don't give Jake a wrench. Did you see Orlando's comment?
No, what do you got?
Put that out, Lou.
Hey, George, that 49 Satchel Paige you sent us in an 8. What auction's that on?
Oh, REA has a 49 Satchel Paige Bowman, and it's an old grade SGC 8 green flip, and the thing looks like a PSA 12,
Yeah.
And the background on it, if you haven't gone to RA auction, look at this. The background is it's more than marine green. It is striking, and like dolphin blue almost. And it's just an awesome card. It's out of my league. It's probably not out of Rick's league, but
yeah. Did you send it to Rick?
I put it on the tag. I put it on the thread.
Rick, you bidding on that?
What is it now? I'm sorry. I apologize.
The 49 Satchel Paige in an 8.
Oh, yeah, right.
I mean, forget the grade. It's just a beautiful card, whatever grade it is.
Yeah, I've never seen a Bowman. The Bowman backgrounds are so beautiful on the 49s. And, when you see a Jackie or whatever card it is, and a Farillo, whatever, in the red background or whatever the background is, it's awesome. Like when you get Adobe, I know Scott's on right now. He got Adobe recently that has like a mustard, like yellow background. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And so that's what I look for, and I'm like, that Satchel Paige, I was looking at it like, this looks like it's been doctored. Like, you mess with your photos and, we all do it for our thumbnails or whatever we do. And I'm like, this is actually not doctored. It's just bright turquoise background.
Yeah. I noticed that his image is darker. You know how sometimes, some of the cards we get, some of the cards they produced have that darker ink, right?
Yeah.
Like you hold two of them together. One's real dark. That Satchel is kind of like that. So the colors are vibrant, but that thing looks like it's right out of a pack.
Yeah, the red on his hat is like coming out at you. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, and whoever gets that card,
Rick,
I'm not like I've seen tons of them, but I've seen a lot of them, and whoever gets that card is going to get. I mean, it's going to go for premium, but it's beautiful.
Hey, Rick, are you going to flip that?
Hey, I was thinking, you think this card's worth anything now? A Drew Henson rookie.
$15.
Beckett price $30, $15.
Maybe find a Michigan fan.
I was just going to say that, Lou.
I picked this
He's
up
worth more than Michigan.
2001, obviously. A good investment, Drew Henson.
Yeah, that's a great investment. Go for it.
Yeah.
Did you buy 30 of those back in the day?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Probably.
You probably bought
But back
30
in
Joe
the day-
Charbonneaus too.
Yeah.
Back in the day, these cards were, $1, $5, not $100.
What's the word now?
I mean, this is pretty much like our text messages. We are talking about anything except the topic we're supposed to be talking about.
Oh, glad
Are you ready?
Oh, Jay.
Ready?
There you go.
He's got the shirt.
Mr. MVP.
His girl's not letting him blink twice if you're okay. He had to sneak away.
What's the safe word?
I was just going to ask that.
Rick, you have more ice in that drink than you have a drink.
Man, so Rick, you just picked up a 49 Dobie?
No, Scott. Scott was on. Hey, Scott, and he had picked up a 49 Dobie.
Oh.
And of course, and he needed to. But
I wonder if I was bidding against him because I got outbidded at the last second. And I came strong.
You guys seen the Leaf Dobie that B Roth has?
Oh, yeah.
That he just purchased? That'll be going into.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, they're all glued on.
Oh, you mean the one on the index cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are cool.
All right. So I think we should go with let's start with the guys who are returning on the ballot. What do you guys think about Todd Helton? This is the 6th year on the ballot. Got 72% last year. In my opinion, I think having Larry Walker in the Hall of Fame helps them tremendously with that force-filled bias. To me, he's a lifelong Rocky. Great numbers, home and away. And, I don't think a person should be penalized because he didn't pick the team he was drafted for.
Now that's some serious editing right there.
I say yes to Todd Helton in the Hall of Fame. What say you?
I say no.
I
I'm
say no
tough.
as well.
I'm really tough when it comes to this. Some of you guys, I'm sure, I mean, they have to be the top players in the game at their position. You can't, do without them in baseball at that period of time. And I don't know, Todd Helton, I don't know, just didn't get the smell test for me. So I'm saying no. Anybody
Who's
else?
next?
I guess
Oh.
I like him. I always thought he was a badass. Like he was a hard out and always had a high average. Yeah, the whole course field thing, but we would never know because outside the course field, he had a great average.
Yeah, 316
So,
career batting average.
316 career. Sometimes you can't help where you play at. Like they say, what if Wade Boggs played in another stadium or if Ted Williams played in another stadium? So wherever you play, you make the most of it. You adjust your swing and you do what you got to do.
There's a lot of guys that played for the Rockies that aren't Hall of Fame material. The field didn't help those guys.
Very
Right.
well said. Very well said.
I know.
Did anyone
like
do any
that.
crack research on his away stats?
No,
Luke?
Bro, I can't even pull baseball cards out for this live stream. No one did crack research. I've been decorating this house all day.
These are all modern cards. I don't have any cards of these guys.
let me see if I can find something on him.
Well, George
I'm
said
getting
no,
take
right?
cards.
George, you said no?
I'm along with Rick. I feel like this conversation, I can already tell where this is going. Which in general, this is not the Hall of Very Good. This is the hardest Hall of Fame to get into of all the sports. This is like when you're a kid and you're cracking packs. Are you pulling out Harold Baines and putting him in the star pile, or is he going in the common pile? He went in my common pile. Ozzie Smith went in my common pile. I'm not saying Ozzie Smith is not a great player. I'm just saying, like, Todd Helton, like, you have to be a Hall of Famer to me. I'm not saying Inner Circle Hall of Famer. I'm not saying Mays, Aaron, Mantle. I'm saying to be a Hall of Famer, you have to be really good, and you have to be really good for a long time. I'm not even taking Coors into account because when guys are like doing MVP voting and stuff like that, they're not really taking that into account. They look at the numbers, and there's guys who've been Rockies who've won MVPs and stuff like that. Todd Helton is a fantastic ball player. He really is. And would I want him on my team? Sure, all day. But is he a Hall of Famer? I'm not going to act like I have these stats memorized. I'm pulling up
I want
baseball
to put
reference.
up Helton 332 at home, 285 away.
Okay.
61.84.
3-3 at home.
332 at home, 285 away.
So there's like a 45-point difference in batting average, home and road. I mean, Don, Stan Musial, same amount of hits at home as on the road.
Right.
And everybody uses that as a barometer of like Mr. Consistency. If you've got a 45 to 50-point difference in batting average, you're clearly getting a benefit. And when I look here, I see a guy who's a great player, but he's not a Hall of Famer. He made 5 All-Star teams. He never won an MVP. with Coors Field, he had 1 batting title. One. He was in the top 5 in MVP voting 1 time. I just don't think that, and I'm not saying Inner Circle Hall of Famer. I'm just thinking Hall of Famer. But I'm like Rick, man. I just feel, and I'm not saying we're right, but from my end, there's a lot of great players. And because I like Don Mattingly, I love Don Mattingly. I love Dwight Gooden, but they're not Hall of Famers. That's kind of.
But
You're off stream.
George, let me ask you a question though.
Here goes Lou James.
Nowadays, people with a high average is 285. Like this dude was consistently at 330 overall. You gotta throw this man some flowers. He's got what,
He wasn't 330 overall.
Muggers at first. Plus, we had some Gold Gloves also. It wasn't like he was a average hitter or whatever. Like that high average, to me, 372, 358 on another season, and a time when everybody was punting average for home runs and doing steroids. Like he I don't know. I kind of like appreciate guys who hit for average, man. I don't know.
I do too. You know, I love Gwen and Carew, and you do too. But I'm gonna like just throw it out here because the man in the bottom right corner's been waiting to talk about. I know he has. Dave Parker. I mean, how is it that you can say Todd Helton is a Hall of Famer and he didn't even like Dave Parker was one of the best players in baseball for 5, 6 years, 7 years.
100%.
How can he not be in the Hall of Fame and Todd Helton be in the Hall of Fame? I mean, I understand. I'm going to throw him flowers. He's great. Would I love to have him on my team? Would I love him to be a Diamondback? Sure.
You sound like me with Scott Rowland last year. I can't believe Scott Rowland's still in.
Yeah. I mean,
Scott Rowland played third base, though, at least. Like, he played a position of scarcity, kind of. Like, as a first baseman, I mean, he's a great player. He's a good player, really, really good player. And I'm not diminishing him, James. I have a difference of opinion, but I know what you're saying. Batting average matters. I agree.
I love your opinion. Look at this guy looking aerodynamic, shaved head, clean cut. What say you, Mangini? This guy looking good.
Unlike Rick, who tastes the players, I watched the players. So I'm going to go with the eye test.
taste the player.
Todd Hilton, he was solid, consistent. Wouldn't surprise me if he gets in. I don't think it'll be this year. I'm with George and Rick on this one, though. I don't think I would put him in.
All right.
Wow.
I mean, when he was playing, I never considered him like a Hall of Fame player, just an all-star player, never the best of the best. And that's the way I go by. I don't have to go by averages and if he played Coors Field or wherever. I just never considered him the best of the best. And you have people, I mean, the way the Hall of Fame is now, it seems like everyone's getting in with Baines. If Baines gets in, maybe he should be in. But that's not my criteria for a Hall of Fame. I mean, Al Oliver should be in.
I was just going to bring him up.
There's a bunch of players that should be in if Todd Helton.
Al Oliver is a better hit. It was a better hitter.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I
Well, I mean,
consider Al Oliver a better player when he was playing than Todd Helton.
I know we always say, everyone gets in, but last year Rowland got in. McGriff got voted in by the committee. The year before, no one got in. The year before that, just Jeter got in. It's like this year, I think they're just going to try to fix because, like, to me, out of the top three, Helton, Wagner, and Jones, I'm going ahead. I think Jones is the best one with the best resume.
I think you're jumping ahead.
We need to move on to a few more players. We're going to be on Todd Helton.
Are we done with Helton?
We've got a lot of guys to go over.
Hey, I want to bring something up to James because James, I'm with you on the batting average, but I gotta ask you guys the question: how many players won 4 batting titles and are not in the Hall of Fame?
1.
4 batting titles and is not in the Hall of Fame.
Stan Musial, Ted Williams,
Same dude.
Ty Cobb, Rod Carew, Tony. I'm just going off the top of my head. Miguel Cabrera. Am I close?
Bill Madlock, man.
Bill Madlock.
Oh, nice. All right. That was a nice one.
He won
let me,
4. I thought he won 3.
Who won 3?
Bill Madlock. I thought he only won 3 batting titles.
He won 4.
Are you sure?
Look it up.
This is
If
just
only
like
we had something we could look on to find out the answer.
We need
Look it up,
someone in
Rick.
the audience to check that.
All right, Lou, we got to move on to the next guy.
Yeah, I'm just checking the chat. We got Orlando Collector's Dream, Mike the Sports History Collector, Hodges, Ranger Studios, who got a wrench. I gave him a wrench. Thank you,
Oh,
Scott.
God. Wait, you gave Reindeer a wrench? What the hell?
Of course I did.
No.
He made a logo, bro.
If you give
He's
Scott a
so
wrench, we
broken.
got to give Jake a wrench.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Scott will lose it in his beard.
Bro, I'm about to put you on timeout. Watch out.
Let him draw his own wrench.
Let him draw his own wrench.
Scott drew the logo. He is always good with me. He gets a wrench.
All right.
And Orlando,
I get one more. I got one question. One question. James, who would you rather have on your team? Todd Helton or Freddie Freeman?
oh, Freddie. All day.
Freddie
Freeman.
Freeman.
Freddie
Right.
Freeman.
But but it.
Very similar. Very similar.
I
But one
really
guy,
like. I'm a fan of Freddie Freeman. Like
his career's not done.
Freddie never
Nah.
got any due until more recently. Last few
yeah,
years.
Freddie Freeman was overshadowed
never got his
by
due.
other players, and now he's getting his due.
We'll talk about
It's Freddie
consistency.
Freeman.
When he was with the Braves, he was the guy you didn't want beating you. He was number 3 in that lineup. He goes to the Dodgers, a lineup of stars, and where's he hitting? 3. The guy is a boss. Love
That guy
Freddie
hit
Freeman.
doubles like Al Oliver.
Hey, that's my Albert Pujols argument. Albert Pujols played on a stacked Indians lineup. Where did he bat number 3?
Albert Bell.
That's all I'm saying.
Albert Bell, bro. Albert Bell, not Pujols. Wrong Albert.
Oh, I said Albert Pujols. I meant Albert Bell.
I knew who you were talking about.
You know.
I
You know.
just didn't know who he played for.
All right. So are we doing 4 against and 2 for Todd Hilton?
Yeah, I'm
Or are
against.
we doing 3 and 3?
I'm against.
So
Donnie?
I'm for him.
wow. So he gets 2 out of 6 votes. It's not going to make it in
Not
Mr.
gonna make it.
Todd
What
Hilton.
percentage did he get last year?
Someone
Oh, he
says
was up there.
32%. He's gonna get in.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll probably get in.
he got 72.2% last year.
Yeah, he'll get in.
Well, here's the
All right.
thing. What do you guys think about this? Before you go on to the next one, it's like, are they stretching to put people in from that era since they're not putting anybody remotely related to steroids in? Do you think
Yeah.
they're stretching?
I got an answer.
I mean, I'll let George go first, but I'll answer after George.
No, you can go ahead, James, please.
I just feel like when you take away the steroid players, Helton and some of these other guys are now, rising to the top. Whereas if there were no steroids being used and these inflated stats, Helton might have shined a lot brighter.
How do you know he didn't take them?
No.
The same thing.
We can say that for anyone.
No. I'm being real here because every era has certain things. Like in the 80s, they had the cocaine trials. Well, those were people that got caught.
Wasn't there rumors?
You mean to tell me there were only a handful of people in the 1980s out of all the baseball that did some cocaine?
And that hampered Tim Raines for a long time.
But I think there's a lot more guys. It was so rampant at that time and in that era. I think, just because somebody might not have been jacked or whatever, might not have been so obvious. I think there maybe more had used them to heal, at least.
Well,
because they make different kinds of steroids. Some to get you big, some to get you ripped, some to heal fat. There's various types, so they're not using the same steroids.
You know the guy in the hall that did roids right now.
Did David Ortiz use steroids?
Yeah,
he's in.
Tested positive.
I mean, he's in.
Tested positive, but he's a nice guy.
Pudge
love him.
Rodriguez.
All I'm
Look at
saying
that.
is, you have to suspect there were a lot more than just the ones we know about.
Wasn't there rumors about? I mean, I might be speaking out of my rear, but wasn't there rumors about Todd Helton and that?
No, the baseballs. The baseballs were juice. I don't think the players were juice.
I think you're right, Rick. I think there were whispers of that. I think you're right, from what I remember.
But they're picking and choosing. Like I said, Ortiz is in. Everyone loves Big Papi. Boston's strong. He made the speech. Lovable guy. I get it. Pudge Rodriguez, probably the greatest arm from catcher, defensive catcher. Pudge won World Series. Look at that! Look at that locker room. That's what I always tell people. You had Canseco, you had Wangon, you had A-Rod, Palmero, Mr. Cialis, or Viagra. Come on, man! And Pudge is the only one that gets in. Get out of here.
He's a catcher. Catchers get up there.
The Hall needed a good catcher in the field of the dream, so he had to get in.
No, I'll tell you this, and along these lines, something happened when the Hall of Fame, when the steroid guys came up. There was a period of time for a couple years where nobody got in. No, it was 0 people, right? And you can look it up. And it was like 2-3 years in a row, nobody got in. And then they started to re-examine these other guys who they had passed on before. And I think the first one I remember, first 2, were Jim Rice and Andre Dawson. And then all of a sudden, Jim Rice wasn't a Hall of Famer for whatever amount of years, 6 years, 8 years, and Andre Dawson wasn't either. And all of a sudden they got in. And then people started to maybe broaden the parameters a little bit. And next thing you know, eventually Tim Raines gets in, guys who didn't get in before. Now, Tim Raines got in because people appreciate stolen bases or have come to realize that that's a rare thing, what he did. Jack Morris got in, and then that's Veterans Committee stuff. But it's like they started to broaden the net, and the steroid guys had a lot to do with this. In a lot of ways, I think Jack Morris, Alan Trammell, Harold Baines, Jim Rice, Andre Dawson, all great players. They need to thank the steroid guys.
Never thought of that.
Look at Hodges' comment. That's all I have to say. Look at Hodges' comment. Bring it up if you want to.
Wale, Hodges, where is it?
Can somebody read it to me?
According to Ainsworth Sports, Hilton was the number 2 baseball player of the 2000s behind Poole. What is Ainsworth Sports?
It's
According to Red Dot All Cards, he was ranked the 880th player of the 2000s.
Listen, all I'm saying is,
I agree. I mean, that's fine, but if Todd Helton never won one MVP and was not in the top 10 at least a couple times, how can he be the number 2 player of the 2000s? How?
MVPs can't be that important. Dale Murphy has 2 of them. Juan Gonzalez has 2 of them.
Parker had 1.
But Dale Murphy had in baseball for like 5 years, and everybody who lived through that knows that.
well, consistency throughout the 2000s, I think, is what they're taking into consideration. Like the whole.
Well, you asked about Todd Helton versus Freddie Freeman. Which one would you want? How about Todd Helton versus Steve Garvey?
Garvey. MVP.
Give me Steve.
You know,
I think that one's tighter.
Garvey's first All-Star game, he was written in by the fans. He had 1 million write-in votes. Did you know that for the All-Star game?
You guys know Garvey and Helton both played football in college?
So did Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
Frank Thomas could still play college football.
Hey, how about this Hall of Fame class? Al Oliver, Bill Madlock, Cobra, Thurman Munson, Dick Allen. That'd be a hell of
All of them.
Hall of
Yeah.
I'm looking at Garvey and Helton, and Helton has him beat in average, home runs, and RBIs. Garvey has him in hits by like 880, I think, hits. That's it. And
what's the
Helton
career?
gets him in
What was
everything
the home
else.
run numbers?
Home runs 369 to 272.
Now, what if Garvey played in Colorado?
It's hard to get home runs in LA.
Garvey was clutch.
Garvey
He was
was clutch.
He was a clutch hitter.
Garvey was clutch.
Garvey
But
was the best first baseman in the National League in the 70s, wasn't he?
Yep.
Listen, that was a
Am I
good
wrong?
one. That was a good comparison.
Maybe
Well,
Stark.
behind Willie Stargell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
True.
was a
Oh,
good
you can't
one.
put that
McCovey.
on and on.
McCovey.
I'm
And
just happy that
Helton
people can
has-
see. What are you gonna say, James?
Helton has 4 silver sluggers. Garvey has none.
When did they give the Silver Slugger then? I don't even.
I don't know when they started to, but he just doesn't have it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just glad people can see a glimpse of what we do on a text. This is a text message come to life. Our shit's all over the place, man.
Steve Garvey.
I always go
You
by the
can't
eye
compare the
test.
numbers.
I know.
I'm with you, John. I don't know any of the stats.
It's all about the stats for the Hall of Fame.
All right, we got to move on. We've been on Helton for like half an hour now.
That's just the
how we
beginning.
do it.
Hour live stream.
That's how we freaking do it. Anyways, because to me, this guy is not a Hall of Famer, yet this is his 9th year on the ballot. Had 68.1% last year. That's Billy Wagner. And Wagner, I could tell you, I mean, he had per 9, he had over 12 Ks per 9, and 2.31 ERA, 1,100 strikeouts, but only 422 saves. I mean, that doesn't. I mean, is he the best lefty reliever of all time? Maybe. I don't know. I don't see it. I was never scared of Billy Wagner. I don't know why he's getting so
Too
much
short to
love.
make the hall.
But I'm a no on Billy Wagner.
I mean,
Well,
yes,
Let's speed this up. Is anybody a yes?
I am.
All right.
I think he might get in. I don't.
Are you a yes, George?
I'm not a yes. No.
No, I think he'll get in.
Don,
He's got 68.
You're the one yes. So make your point.
I
Make
just
your
think
argument.
he was just dominant when he played. You know, I mean, a lefty throwing that kind of heat up there outside of Randy Johnson and other lefties. And I'm not comparing them. He's not Randy Johnson. Don't get me wrong, but I would love to have him in my bullpen. And I don't know his stats. Like, he passed the eye test for me. That's where I go with that.
I want to say it's real difficult to evaluate relievers. Over time, you know, they've changed, right? Who got in first? Was it Fingers or Suter or Wilhelm? But I mean, like, it's really difficult to evaluate them because, you know, we're like, oh, Raleigh Fingers gets 2 and 3 inning saves, and Suter does similar things, and then all of a sudden we get to Eckersley, and he's getting 1/3 of inning saves, and I mean, yeah, Wagner's super effective and he's super good. But, you know, how important is a closer to a team? You know, I don't know, maybe more important now than it was, you know, in the 60s and the 70s. I don't know. But it's just kind of, it's hard for me to evaluate. This is the hardest guy to evaluate for me. The rest of them are relatively easy.
Yeah.
I
7 All-Stars, I guess. You like him?
I like him, but I think he's on the fence to leaning off. Like, I appreciate him. I like him. Was he Trevor Hoffman? No. Was he Mariano? No. He wasn't even like Gagne. Gagne, who's not in or will never get in. He wasn't better than him. So
He was like a Santana. His peak was super high, but his career was not long enough for Gagne to be anywhere near.
Gagne was awesome, man. How many saves in a row did he have? 88, 87?
he
It was over 7.
Yeah. Something
What
like
was it?
So
It was over 7.
Anyone know?
no, I don't know.
It was a
A
lot.
young
I like collectible all time on saves list.
I see a really interesting comment from Concrete Buddy here. He says, if Lee Smith is in the Hall of Fame, why not Billy Wagner? And I was talking to a friend of mine about our content tonight, like earlier today, my buddy, and we're talking about Lee Smith, and it's like we realized that when Lee Smith retired, I think he was the number one in saves, right? So this is kind of like quarterbacks. Like, you don't even know what, like, one time Johnny Unitas was really good because he was number 1, and Fran Tarkington then was really good. But it keeps changing with saves because there's so many saves. So that's why it's so hard to evaluate this. Evaluating closers is like evaluating quarterbacks.
That's a great point. That's a great point. You can never compare old quarterbacks to modern quarterbacks. Never.
Yeah, I mean, Otto Graham, Sid
Or
Luck,
receivers.
Yeah, it's a different game now, and these guys have more opportunities. So, like, those saves Lee Smith got when he retired and was number 1 in saves, those are like a little bit longer saves, or maybe guys hadn't done it as much. You know, I can understand his point, though. I mean, you know, Wagner has far superior stats to Lee Smith. So if you're just comparing stats, you say, well, Wagner's superior.
Actually, he does. I mean, they're comparable, but Lee Smith has 71 wins to Billy's 47, 3 ERA, which was higher, 1,200 strikeouts, 478 saves to Billy's 422. But Lee led the league 4 times in saves.
Okay.
Billy never did that. And they got the same amount of All-Stars.
You got to look at the players in their time and how good they were in their time. Because in the Bonds era, in the McGuire era, if somebody hit 50 home runs, it was no big deal. But in the 70s, when George Foster hit 52 home runs, he's the only one to do it in the entire decade. So it's relative to my assessment, and I'm not saying it's right, is how dominant were you in your own time? How good were you in your time? If you know, so that this is like if Todd Helton is not doing well, being a top player in his own time, it's difficult. Like in Wagner, you know.
Hey George, I wanted to go back to your football analogy. So, you know, if you don't compare eras, that means Phillip Rivers is better than every quarterback from the 1980s back. Everyone.
I knew when Matt Schaub threw for 4,000 yards, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But, you know, Like,
Well,
Dan
Matt
Fouts-
Ryan would be considered if you just go by stats. Matt Ryan would be better than Johnny Unitas.
Yeah, like and Rick, Joe Montana. I mean, how many times did he throw for 4,000 yards?
Maybe never.
Yeah, that wasn't the game, and the rules didn't permit that.
But if I needed to win a game, I'm going to pick the guy who's never lost a Super Bowl.
Oh,
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Kenny
Terry
Pickett, baby. Get your Kenny Pickett card.
Oh, they fired the offensive
Matt
coordinator.
Canada.
You'll see. There'll be a change. Three
So,
years. The Steelers have been struggling to put up numbers for 3 years, long before Kenny Pickett took over. In fact, last year they were 1-5.
Now we're on a tangent.
They were 1-5 and couldn't move the ball. And when he came in, they were 7-2. So don't rule them out just yet.
How about that coach, John? Should the Pittsburgh keep the coach, Tomlin?
Dude,
Well, let's
Ranch.
start with the offensive coordinator. Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, I have to hand it to Tomlin because they should not have the record they have, and they do.
You're right. You're right.
So
there.
he's
They're
doing
right
it. He's
there.
doing a
They're
hell of
gonna
a
win
job this year.
They're going to
with
win the division.
As
maybe.
bad as that offense has been.
Hey, Mookie's always coming out with great one-liners. Mookie Chosen. Billy Wagner should have to pay Todd Helton to get into the hall. Who's with me?
Coors Field.
Mookie's in all the live streams. Always got good stuff to talk about. He
Yeah.
gets around. So
Hey, I'll be
I
right
guess
back. I'm going to get a refill.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, go
gonna grab a beer because this looks like it's gonna take longer than I thought. I'm
They're
gonna
all
grab a
going-
brew.
So
Don't let them lie to you. They're all going to take a piss.
let's do intermission talk then. It's like that music.
Okay.
So what do you guys want to talk about during our intermission?
We're never going to get through this list.
Talk about John. Let's talk about John. It's easy.
I'll keep it because with the new cast on the first time on the ballot, there's not really that many significant guys after Maurer. That's just me. But
Beltray, Maurer,
Someone else.
Maurer, Chase
Jones.
Utley, David
Utley.
Wright. Bartolo Colon is Hall of Fame for other reasons.
Who?
But Bartolo Colon is the first time
Oh,
on the. Does he get 5%? Ooh, that's a good one. What is it? If you get lower than 5% your first time, you're off the ballot, or is
Right.
it lower? Does Bartolo get 5%? That's a great question for some Phil.
this list is, I got to be honest, the whole list overall, there's no Willie Mays or Hank Aaron or Derek Jeters or Clementi's on here.
Well, you
Yeah,
do. You got A-Rod.
Let's talk about it.
A-Rod's on there.
Okay, I didn't see the two steroid guys. I forgot about them.
I
Same with
mean,
Manny.
When is the next time a player is going to come on the ballot that you're like, this is like an inner circle game changing?
Gotta be
Pujols.
Ichiro, right? No,
Pujols and-
Ichiro will be before Pujols.
Yeah, but inner
Then you got
circle.
Manny.
I mean,
Manny will be a little one.
At least in our era, like I'm not talking about like somebody Ichiro.
That's who I think is next.
Yeah,
inner circle. I mean, maybe if he played his first 7 years here, but I mean, his
He got
numbers.
3,000 hits
Okay.
in the
Yeah, he's automatic. He's
Yeah, okay, you guys do that.
he's inner circle. He's inner
It's
circle.
all time, and no one talks about Derek Jeter like that.
Yeah, but he was like 30 when he freaking joined the major
I
leagues.
understand that, but
Hey, did you guys see that he Ichiro pitched against his high school team? He shut him out, and his old high school team, and he was throwing 85 miles an hour
I gotta
the other
stop.
day.
I mean,
Check out one time.
do you guys think like Ichiro is like one of, at least in our time, like one of the most influential baseball players, like for his international influence?
Yeah, absolutely.
100.
You guys forget about his arm. It's not just his hitting. The freaking arm he had, man.
Fielding was. I mean, I used to go to when they came and visit the Rays. Just watching him field, he'll catch pop-ups, with his glove behind his back, and then he'll go to home plate, and I will watch him, and he's just joking with the guys. He's like pointing at the foul poles, and he's throwing it from first plate, home base, hitting in foul poles. It's bananas. The guy's
Hey, Rick, did
accuracy.
you see Dave's comment on here? It won't be hard for Rick in technical difficulties. Someone else has to be at a dollar sign on your hat, Rick.
Pre-war. I'm just throwing out a pre-war for Dave there.
There you go.
Yeah.
The old Hank Gowdy. I think he was the only one that was
Got a
in
war card in front.
three wars or something like that. World War One, two. and
That's the
he-
only thing he had in his collection, bro. What do you mean? He's
There's my pre-war.
Oh, here's another one.
Is that your
Hey, I'm going to
grandfather?
give this away. We're going to come up with some kind of thing. I'm going to give this one away. The fan craze. These are tough. Fan crazes are not easy. And this is Cy Young's. We get this guy mistaken for Cy Young all the time on cards. Herb Young.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's a good.
everybody thinks they have a Cy Young.
So
The
I'm
first
going to give this away. We'll
Find
have
a
to figure out
piss
something.
Cy Young. Hey, that's
I'm
the
going to give
contest.
away this too here.
Hey Lou, how come I don't see a wrench by Orlando's name yet?
It's on there.
I don't see it.
There's a lot
Right,
of
what's
players. I know
next?
we're not going to go down this rabbit hole maybe in the future, but pre-war players that should be in the Hall of Fame that are not.
Let's switch
You know.
to that. That's more interesting.
I know
I
two
say
of
Compare
those
Bob,
actors.
Pe-
That's it.
Bob
we compare
Carruthers.
people with 50 home runs to 500.
I say Bob Carruthers, Jack Glasscock, and Bad Bill Dalen.
There's a ton of them.
What
There's
about
a lot more than that.
How about Lefty O'Doul?
Yeah, Lefty will do it.
High batting average.
What is he? Fourth all time? Fourth or fifth highest all time?
Right around Ted Williams.
Yep.
Joe Jackson.
Joe
Pete
Jackson.
Rose.
God, I only said that like 10 times, guys. Glad
There
we
you go.
got
Gowdy was a
that.
hero.
We are drinking heavily. We are on vacation.
There you go, Rick.
What is
We
that?
can't go through this entire list.
Yes.
We're not going through the entire list, bro.
It'll be 6 a.m.
Look at that. Wait a minute. Where'd you come up with that? Did I ever see that?
Yeah, it's a Type 2 Brown Brothers.
Did you show us that before?
I think I did on a video, but you don't watch my videos.
Oh, that's true.
None of us do.
Hey,
That's
George,
nice.
George,
Is it
when did you start
1950s?
making
That's
videos?
Probably 1950s, right? Type 2?
You started making videos in the 50s?
40s.
Sounds about right.
1950s type 2.
You make
40s,
videos now,
yeah.
George?
What's that?
Hey, George,
You make content now?
consistent.
I thought about it. No, I got one coming out. I'll show a red pre-war card of a batting champion, 8-time batting champion soon on a video.
Rick doesn't collect any type 2s. They got to be type 0s.
No, type 2s are great cars. You can get, photos. You can get some for good prices, man.
Oh, I thought that was beneath you, Rick.
No, come on.
Heritage had a Type 2 Cobb photo that went for like $1,000 the other night. I don't know if you guys
You're
saw
kidding.
it. No, it was
Yeah.
a beautiful image.
Beautiful card. Beautiful.
Went for like $980.
Rick,
Type 2.
Did you get that, Rick?
No, come on.
He snaked it.
He snaked it. We'll be seeing it in an upcoming video.
Hey, is Orlando in the chat? I can't see. Is Orlando in the chat?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
Did
Did he end up getting that card we were looking at? The
Oh,
remember the
Oh, I don't know. That
I wonder
He
if
Marson.
didn't.
yeah, I
He
wonder if he
didn't. I spoke
picked
to
that
him.
card up.
He didn't?
No,
He
he
didn't?
said he did bid on it though, but he didn't
Okay.
get it.
Rick took those pre-war pictures.
I was bidding on that, Orlando. I was bidding on it, but I don't know. For that far after his playing days, it went pretty high.
I thought you liked you like post playing day cards.
I do, but not for. I'm not gonna. Not that much money.
See, exactly. That's our
Like,
whole
I'm not gonna
conversation
pay-
in the text messages.
For those of you
Yeah.
who don't know, Rick is very anti non-playing days cards. So
Exactly.
don't be showing any 60
Yeah, and then he
or
texts us
61
and he shows
player.
us three Christy Matthews from the 1970s. After he talks smack.
Yeah, but those are
damn him.
you're not paying $1,000, $500,000 for those
Right.
cards.
Oh,
Here's
I
our
just got
text.
a
Here we
nice, I
go,
just
our
got a
text.
nice
We're
satchel
going
page.
right into our text things right here.
Yeah, I don't want to
I
read the
can't wait to
Toronto
show you.
satchel page. It's non-playing days. I don't want it.
Dude, I'll
Yeah.
take that Kennywood satchel page.
So I'll take your 67 Venny.
Yeah, your Koufax.
That
Yeah.
Koufax.
It's not
Yeah,
playing
well,
days.
That's
I
beautiful.
call shotgun.
All right, sorry, Lou. We're out of control.
Always.
We're next. Who's the next player that we can say no to?
Man, I miss you guys. I can't wait till Cleveland.
Oh, I'm so
John.
excited.
John and Rick should have had the old man.
No
match.
sleep till
They're right
Cleveland.
next to each other.
Yeah, Rick and I are gonna do a stay off my lawn segment.
Jello shots.
George will be up all night for it.
Who's got the recipe? Jello shots.
The girl.
Hey, get your sleep before Cleveland because
Hey
We
Rick,
ain't
are you
sleep.
bringing your flamingo case to the National?
Hey, I just got an email at 25% off Black Friday for those babies.
Oh, do they have a 2-for-1 special? Let's get them.
Right here.
Hey James, where are you staying for the National? With the Misfits, right?
I'll be hanging out with the Misfits. I don't know if I'll be staying there though.
Oh no, you bringing a girl.
He's gone.
Oh, oh, he cut us off. He's James
he's
is
gone.
whipped.
I think his girlfriend just heard that.
Yeah, she's like, who?
Lou kicked
Hey.
me off to make it look more dramatic.
At least he showed up. There's more than Bob Lewis.
You ain't gonna stay with us. What are you talking about, Willis?
No, it's just that I'm gonna be there in a working capacity this time around. So I might need to be there right when they open up at 8 or whatever. And to be coming over 25 minutes away, that's gonna be, cutting it close.
I'm single too. Anyways, all right. I mean, I can't wait. Hey, did you buy your tickets? I know you sent that link. Did you buy tickets already?
Not yet. I just saw it today.
I think the
Yeah,
first
Johnson-
100 you get a T-shirt. First
I
100.
didn't get them yet.
I
Okay.
keep buying the
All right,
VIP tickets. And we never get up early enough to make it worth our while. I'm like, I've never
All right.
stood.
On to the next one. So the last
Yeah,
one.
John doesn't
Billy
need one because he leaves early anyway. So
Oh, come on.
Yeah, it's not my turn to fix his flat tire this year. That's
Come on, Captain Lou. Rein us in. Let's go.
All right. Bringing it in. So per usual, Donnie Livestreams is wrong because he's the only one that thinks Billy Wagner should be a Hall of Famer.
Per usual.
As
What
usual.
are you talking about?
So Andrew Jones is next. This is his seventh year.
Who's it?
Seventh year on the ballot. Had 58.1% of the votes. My opinion, he was the best center fielder of the generation. 10 straight Gold Gloves, 450 plus home runs. Was a key cog in the Braves lineup. I still remember when he was 19 years old in the postseason, crushing it. 19 or 20, super young, crushing the ball in the playoffs. I think he's a Hall of Famer. What hurts him is him holding on. If he retired after his Braves career, people would be like, no doubt about it. But they remember him with the Yankees, the Dodgers, and that hurt him tremendously. I know people with the counterparts with Jim Edmonds. I'll take Andrew Jones over Jim Edmonds all day. What do you say? What do you guys say?
What's it
This
say?
one.
I can't read it.
It says no.
Rick said no.
You
Come
got
I'll
on,
tell you what,
Andrew Jones.
I'd take Jim Edmonds just because I'm a huge Jim Edmonds fan. Man, I used to love to watch him play center field.
Jim Edmonds.
I think he made the greatest catch I ever saw for an outfielder.
I love Jim Edmonds. He was a great defensive center fielder.
Whatever, man. Jim Edmonds. Don't penalize Andrew Jones for making it look easy. Jim Edmonds played incredibly short.
No, Andrew
he had-
Jones was a great player. He was a great player.
Yeah, Jim Edmonds overrated. Anyways.
Andrew Jones
So-
was a great player. I just never really thought of him as a Hall of Famer.
Oop, put up the batteries comment to Rick. Yeah.
Hey, I never get on these live streams.
Awesome.
Man. Give me a break here.
Oh, Carlisle rude. Yeah, Carlisle's always good, man. He always
He is.
I like him.
That
Oh,
was
I'm a definite Jones. Rick is a no. Who's next?
I'm 50-50. And I'm
Oh,
of the belief,
God.
like Tim Raines, if he
You up
gets
again.
in, I got no problem with it. I had problems with Rowland getting in. I had problems with like Harold Baines getting in. But like if Andrew Jones gets in, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. 50-50.
Yeah, 10 Gold Gloves. He was the smoothest center fielder I've ever witnessed. Smooth like butter.
You've
And he
ever
had
witnessed
over 50
smoother than
bombs.
Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, but I'm saying smooth.
Yeah, Ken
Like,
Griffey Jr. is better.
How much smoother can you get than Junior, man?
but Ken Griffey Jr. He's on like a stratosphere level. We can't compare Andrew Jones to.
Well,
Ken
you
Griffey
said the
Jr.
smoothest center fielder.
Well,
I
this is the Hall of Fame.
No, I know.
You're saying
I'm
you
not
can't
trying
compare
to
him to other
compare
Hall of
Andrew
Famers?
Jones to Ken Griffey Jr. though. Like I never even try to mention them together.
You said the smoothest center fielder I ever saw.
Come on, now you're backtracking.
No, he was graceful like ballet. Like he just waited for the last
Yeah,
second
we're
and
just-
caught it like
it's
nothing.
all right, we'll let
Like,
you
it
off
was
the
just
hook,
right
Jimmy.
there.
So you're
He's
saying
on
you
that
misjudged it.
He's on
No,
that
I'm
tier.
just saying he was real smooth. He made it look easy.
Hey, I have a question for you. You were talking about Gold Gloves. You're big on Gold Gloves. Do you who has the most Gold Gloves at their position in history
Bill Mazeroski.
and isn't in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, isn't in the Hall.
Keith Hernandez.
Keith
John
Hernandez.
Mattingly.
Keith Hernandez,
Keith-
11.
I bet it's a pirate.
Yeah.
Keith Hernandez.
Keith Hernandez has 11 Gold Gloves and is not in with the MVP travesty and in the Mustard Hall of Fame. Why you getting me
And
worked
he was
up,
on
John?
Seinfeld. You know, he was a
That's
regular.
That's true.
Man.
I just say back to Andrew Jones, his average killed him. And that's why I'm like, it's whatever he doesn't get in. But if he gets in, I get it. If he doesn't, his average killed him.
Yeah, I think, to your point, though, I think, defense should matter somewhat. Like nowadays, nobody seems to care, but it matters to me. I mean, you have guys like Ozzie who are there just on their defense, and Bill Mazeroski too, but they were the best defensively. I have no
And then
idea.
you had your boy Fernando Tatis manning shortstop, being a superstar, and he was throwing it Lord knows where, right?
Yep,
Hey, he got the platinum glove.
but he got the MVP in the outfield, man.
Dude, John called that 2 years ago that he should have been.
Thank you, Don.
I will give you credit for that. You did.
Yeah.
This is the old fart sign. Whoops. I'll be back in a minute.
They needed to get him on the short.
What the
Couldn't
hell
make
does
the
that mean?
throws.
Well, he could make it. He got the platinum glove in down the outfield, which surprised me. Or just the platinum glove, period. Best fielder.
Yeah, well, he was a good fielder at short. He just couldn't throw. He didn't have that kind of arm to be accurate from there.
So
All right, I'm gonna
who's
give Garrett
yes for Andrew Jones? Just Lou?
Oh yeah, definite yes for Andrew Jones. George didn't say anything on it.
George?
We got two maybe. I'm a definite. Fucking A,
I'm
George.
sort of like James and Don. Like if you got in, I can see it, but I'm not. Huh?
You got fucking A, man. It's like Andrew Jones is not a Hall of Famer. There's just no way. Because you're a good defender, does defense carry the day, right? Like he's a really good player. He was a good player. And you know what? He deserves to be, he got paid a lot of money to play baseball because he was really good. And he's not going to ever have to have a problem in his life because he has enough money. Well, the Diamondbacks have his son, Drew Jones, right?
I know.
Yeah, he's going to live his life.
His DNA, bro.
You know what? This is not, I mean, he's good and he's a good dude and I get it and I like him, but like, I mean, I never said to myself, Andrew Jones is a Hall of Famer. I mean, I look at, he's got 1,289 RBIs. That's not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought of him as a Hall of Famer either.
He never won the MVP. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at Baseball Reference. One time he was second in MVP voting, and that was the year when he went bananas and hit 51 home runs. And I think what we all feel like in 2005 when he hit 51 home runs was he was 28. You're like, the best is yet to come. The best is, and you're like, man, this is it. Like, he had a Hall of Fame career from 19 years old to 28 years old. And then all of a sudden, like the next year he had 41 home runs. And then after that, at the age 30, he had 26 home runs. And that's the most home runs he'd ever hit. He's kind of like Dale Murphy. And when you look at the similarity scores on Baseball Reference, the number one guy he's likened to, most similar, Dale Murphy. And Dale Murphy was better.
I think I vote back.
He won the MVP.
You're a great lawyer, man. You convinced me.
Yeah, I mean, you could compare him to when you talk about that one-off of home runs, you could compare him kind of to Brady Anderson too. Same thing, where he had, man, a magical season, right? And then he never hit more than like 26 after that.
Well,
26 was the most he hit in the 30s. Like he hit a precipice like Murphy did where he just fell off. And he was really good and Hall of Fame caliber throughout his 20s. I agree with you, Lou, on that. And I think that's what we like. We like to remember. But, like, you have to have a comeback. And I'm going to go back to Dave Parker. He had a comeback twice with the Reds and then with the A's. Like, these guys, like, they have comebacks. They're consistent. I mean, I really like Andrew Jones as a ball player. And without him, the Braves wouldn't have been the same team. And they were a great team. But he was, defensively fantastic. I just, like, you gotta have some consistency. That's where I'm at.
So
Yeah,
here's
back
a
to
question.
that point, Dave Parker, he was like, what did he win, like 4 times the Reds MVP?
Everyone's on your page, bro. Dave Parker's the MVP. You're preaching to the choir, bro. Hey, what's the more important position, especially defensively, center fielder or third baseman?
Closer.
I agree that Scott Rowland shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame either, Lou.
I'd rather have Andrew Jones than Scott Rowland.
Next player. Let's go.
It's past your bedtime?
Getting damn close.
All right. You guys want to talk about Carlos Beltran or you want to go to the first ballot Hall of Famers?
I got nothing for Carlos Beltran to know.
No.
He's a good player.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. People think he is. I don't think he is. Not one time that I think he's a Hall of Famer. Good player. I'll take Jones over Carlos Beltran. I mean, he was good all,
Next.
No,
I'm not.
no on him.
Next.
A-Rod.
James, you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yes, I do. Especially after that show he did in Houston when he joined them near the playoffs and he went on a tear. That was nuts. That was nuts. And then with the Mets, he was still like one of the best players. So change of scenery, like to Helton's point where, change of scenery, if he's still as good, Beltran was as good no matter where he played.
Bro.
I think he was, even with the Yankees, when he was like 36 years old, he was still putting up numbers.
Bro, when you say he's the best player on the Mets, doesn't say much. So.
Oh, come on, man. He was good.
Come on, man.
He was good. But as George has said, ain't the Hall very good.
Okay, but we were talking about what position is better, center field or third base. He played center field for most of his career. One of the most prestigious positions you could play other than, catcher or shortstop. That's a really important position. He played that, and he excelled. He excelled with average, home runs, steals. He did everything.
Yeah, I guess.
I just think he's a yes.
So center field is so important that Mickey Rivers and
Rivers was
Al
awesome.
Bumbry and Omar Marino, these guys should all be in the Hall.
No. But Kenny
Yeah.
Lofton
No,
should.
I like Mickey, but come on.
Kenny Lofton was a great player. Great player.
He
I think
should be.
Lofton is close. Like, when you really look at it, he's real close.
Yeah,
Kenny
I was a
Lofton's a
no
great
on
player.
Kenny Lofton. I was a no on Kenny Lofton. I started looking, doing a little deep dive. Kenny Lofton had some nice numbers, man. James got me on the bandwagon that Kenny Lofton was is a Hall of Famer.
He was,
We-
he was
I like-
great.
You know, especially that Indians team. The more I look at it, that Indians team, the fact that they didn't win more is a travesty. That Indians team was bananas.
Yeah. Ask Brick about Beltran.
Where's the sign?
He's a no on everybody.
Yeah, Rick's not gonna let anyone.
No, Rick's going to change his tune sometime here.
Yeah, well, this next
There's
guy,
no giants on here.
Rick and George.
everyone else is like Manny Ramirez, steroid guy, Omar Vizquel, DV guy, Edit, Bobby Abreu. These guys, we're done. We're talking about the guys who have been on the ballot, and according to the Misfits, nobody should be in by the majority.
I disagree.
Wait,
Not
wait,
yet.
Sheffield.
I
No,
disagree.
not yet.
I think Manny Ramirez should be in.
Oh,
How about Sheffield?
Fuck
Sheffield
yeah.
should be in.
okay. So I didn't want to talk about steroids.
George is frustrated.
Hey, George.
George is all frustrated.
George, stop. Your hairline is perfect. Your hairline is great. Look at that hair. Don't stress yourself out, bro. Don't
George
stress
is
yourself
Hey,
out.
George. Manny
Manny-
Ramirez shouldn't be in.
Man Ram is a Hall
How
of
many
Famer.
times, if he tested positive for steroids a third time, he'd be lifetime banned from baseball. Like, I mean, he tested positive
So
twice.
What about Torrey Hunter?
So did everybody else in that era.
What about Torrey Hunter?
No.
Oh, fuck.
And
Not
I
a
knew
Hall
the
of
man.
Famer,
I
but
met
A
him.
lot of
good
talk
player.
over here about his stats being better than Andrew Jones.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
defensive.
Torrey Hunter was a good, solid player. I don't
He
think
was
he's a Hall of
solid,
Famer.
but never the best.
Bro, you're crazy.
I didn't
They
say
don't
she
touch-
did. I just brought him up. That's all.
You know what? You're gonna be on mute. I like having the power. You're gonna be muted too, bro. All right. I think.
Two more
I
guys,
think-
right?
What was that?
Two more guys, right?
Who?
Yeah.
The new guys.
Next, we're going to the first time on the ballot. I think we can all agree Adrian Beltre is a Hall of Famer. Not inner circle, but solid player for a long time, 3,000 hits. It's the majority of his career. You guys, even Rick has to say yes. Okay.
Oh, he did.
Now, what does it for you? Because he hit that tier, he hit that milestone, 3,000 hits. He's in.
I don't know. I pictured him as one of, I mean, not inner circle, but a Hall of
The
Fame.
peer pressure. The peer pressure got to him. He's like, I got to.
I have to vote for someone. How about
I
some
mean, he
of those
almost
guys
got
on the
voted
veterans committee? Isn't there a veterans thing coming up with the managers and the executives and stuff?
Yeah, I know
with
no.
Leland is one of them too.
Yeah.
Jim Leland.
Jim Leland. I
Tory.
vote for him. I vote him for the Hall of Fame.
Tori's
Pinella.
another one.
I think Pinella gets in, right?
Or Pinella. I'm sorry. Pinella's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Lou gets in. Got
I
his-
gotta
I got his-
vote for my man.
How many home runs did Batista end up hitting in his career? Someone in the
Batista,
chat.
Jose Batista, or you Beltre?
No, but Batista. I'm just curious how many home runs. He did nothing for the Pirates. We got rid of him, and they went up to the Blue Jays and just started hitting jacks.
Yeah, but you know what? They forced him. They didn't develop him right. You saw what happened when he got better coaching. He took off. They rushed him up. They didn't. They did not support him.
344 overall.
He hit 344.
344. Yeah.
He's a no.
No, I
He's a-
agree.
he's a-
I was just curious how many he had.
He's a no for the fact that he got his ass whooped by Odor. He can never get it. How are you gonna show your face in the hall after getting whooped? But he does have an epic bat flip. The bat flips, his game was on another level. But you can't show up to the hall with Willie, Clemente, and explain yourself that Odor just whooped your ass like that. Come on, man. You can't. You're not invited to the. You can't be invited. You're not invited, bro. So, Beltre, 100%. Beltre had like 470 plus home runs. I mean, the guy's legit.
Yeah,
I don't know if he had it. Any Gold Gloves? 2 Silver Slugs. Oh yeah, 5 Gold Gloves. Decent defender.
Hey, if Rick and George won a man, that's over. Who's next?
This list
Joe
is weird.
Mauer. Joe Mauer.
Who?
I know he got 1 MVP. He got like 5 or 6 All-Stars. 3 batting champs.
I'm a no for Joe Mauer.
Can real quick, can we talk about Beltre a little more?
Oh, you want to
Why,
talk about Beltre?
Sure.
Yeah, John just
Okay.
laid like a bomb, but just real quick about Beltre. Can we talk about this for a second? Like
Yeah,
we've
of
been saying
course.
no and giving a lot of time to the no's of the world, and then we do a yes, and it's like,
Like,
he gets no love. It's like,
Move on.
yeah, he's good, you know. Move
We
on.
have 38 other players, though.
Because there's no drama. We all agree. It's like
Yeah.
no one likes to see.
What do they call that?
harmony.
Beating a dead horse?
People like to see controversy. All right, Georgie, take it away.
I'm just gonna say, like, Ken Poznanski in his Baseball 100 book has Beltre ranked as the 53rd greatest player of all time. This includes pitchers too. And I would encourage anybody to read this because it talks about this like stomach ailment he had that he almost died from when he was at the Dodgers when he was real young because he came up at 19. And so I'm not saying that Adrian Beltre is George Brett or Eddie Matthews or somebody, but like Rick said, like inner circle Hall of Famer, but he's certainly not like he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I feel like I think you look at his numbers. I mean, other than Matthews and Schmidt, he's got the most home runs by a third baseman. And you know what? His career was really good. And then if you ask Mike Baseball Collector, he went to Texas and he really made himself a Hall of Famer. Like he had really good seasons there. And people thought he was done and LA let him go. And he went to the Red Sox in an awesome season. And then he went to sign with Texas. And like people in Texas love this dude. And he's just like, he hit 285. He hit home runs. And I know he never won an MVP, but like for longevity, like way more than Harold Baines. This dude, yeah, like when I think about like who's going to be the next first ballot Hall of Famer, I don't know if it's going to be Joe Mauer or not. I don't think it is. But I mean, like, you know, in his time, think about who are the greatest third basemen. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, Scott Rowland, I'm lukewarm on, but like Adrian Beltre, yeah, he's like a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I didn't feel that way. And then I looked at it and I'm like, man, he did this forever. Forever he was good. And every team he was on, he was good. He was a leader. He was hitting 3, 4, 5 in the lineup. And I mean, like,
if he didn't go to Seattle, he would have had 500 home runs as well. He would have been in that exclusive club because he went to Seattle and he was still hitting bombs. Well, you hit 81 games in that humongous, well, to today's standards, huge field. Yeah. I mean, if he played in Texas longer, he would have hit 500. But yeah, Beltre, no doubt about it.
One thing about him is how many Gold Gloves does he have? 10, I believe. Like
Beltre, no,
he was hitting bombs. He was hitting bombs. He hit a lot of home runs, had a lot of RBIs, plus one of the best gloves, like at his position. Like I don't think that. How much? 5?
5 Gold Gloves.
That I mean, man,
yeah, I mean,
like he just did everything well.
Just a no-brainer.
Yeah, don't touch his head though. He hates that. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was ever the best player, but he was a compiler. I mean, the dude has the most games, I think, second most games of any third baseman ever. He just compiled numbers over time. You know, like, I mean, I don't know. It's like,
yeah, he's kind of similar to Harold Baines, only better, right? It was that longevity, the consistency.
He's way better than Harold.
Third base.
Well,
Harold Baines.
My point is,
since he was 20.
Longevity, consistency. He got those numbers.
I mean, he's got 31.
Even though you might not have considered him the best player in baseball any year he played.
He played 20 years and was 3,000, almost 500 home runs.
3,166 hits. I mean, for a third baseman to have that many hits.
Yeah, his stats are insane.
Crazy.
When Roland went in, they said he was the best third baseman, not Adrian Beltre. So if they say that he's a tier under Adrian Beltre. That means Adrian Beltre's sure in.
Adrian Beltre's in the top like six, seven third baseman ever.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll get in.
He'll get it.
Agree.
Let me
All
ask
right.
you this, guys. Let me ask this because we're on Joe Mauer. I mean, he had a stretch. How many years? 5, 6, 7 years. He was the best player at his position, right?
Yep.
For 5, 6, 7 years. You have other players like Mattingly that's not in. You know, players that played 5, 6, 7 years that were better than all of them. I mean, they're the best at their position for those years, but they just don't have the 10 years.
And they had the longevity.
That's a tough. I know, but I'm just saying that's tough. I mean, he was great for those years, right? He was on the cover of all the Beckett magazines. I mean, he was. It's just tough to.
And that's why I said no. That's why I said no. If we're going to go that route, I want Don Mattingly in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Regarding
not one time was I afraid of Joe Mauer when he came up. I mean, yeah, he was a nice hitter. I knew it wasn't going over the fence. He was a great base hitter.
But what position did he play? He played. I mean,
but the thing is, the position. Oh, he's a catcher. He played catcher maybe half his career. The rest was
for those 4, 5, 6, 7 years, he was it in the American League.
I'll take Munson's 9 years over Mauer's 6 years.
Me too. I'll take Munson over him any day.
I can't find it. TJ Mack had something on here that he had 3 batting titles and something else.
Yeah, Mauer had 3 batting titles, the MVP. Let me see. I pull it
Pretty
up.
impressive for a catcher.
I mean, another person would be Dale Murphy.
He,
Dale Murphy would be another one. When he played when I was a kid, I mean, for those years, 5, 6, 7 years, he was the best. Literally the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't play long enough. He's played long enough, but I mean, those 5, 6, 7 years, he was the best in baseball at that time.
Off the cliff.
So it's tough to. I mean, there's a rule, I know 10 years, but I'm just saying we have all these guys going longevity that are in, like Harold Baines, and who would you rather have on your team? Who would you rather have on your team at the peak of their career, Dale Murphy or Harold Baines?
Well, I think
Murphy
that all the catchers seem to get a pass. The catchers seem to get a pass when it comes to longevity because how difficult it is. I mean, Joe Mauer is a story about give me a second here, but Joe Mauer is a story. I had it written down here. He's a story about why WAR doesn't matter in a negative way and why being a catcher does matter. Like if you look at his WAR and you compare it to Yogi Berra, he's just under Yogi Berra as a catcher. But we all would agree that Yogi Berra's 59.5 WAR is bullshit. We all would agree Yogi Berra is in the top 3 greatest catchers of all time. And it's Joe Mauer's WAR is only 5 below him. It's 55. So it's why WAR doesn't matter is Joe Mauer. At the same time, why catcher matters. How many catchers have done what Joe Mauer's done? And if Joe Mauer isn't in the Hall, well, how does Thurman Munson and Buster Posey get in the Hall?
Yeah.
Posey better be in the Hall.
Oh my God!
Buster Posey's going to be in the Hall.
Right there.
Posey's going to be in the Hall.
Posey? What, a giant?
Rick just woke up and almost knocked over his camera. Like, what?
All right.
He's been thumb down on everybody.
He clogged 3 world championships. He was the man. He was like the Jeter when it came to catcher for those periods of time. He ran the ship.
Well, I mean, I've always been in favor. My personal belief is somebody that does something so special for, 6, 7 years. I want them in the Hall of Fame because they were a great player, like Don Mattingly, Doc Gooden, guys like that, Fernando Valenzuela, magical seasons, magical few years. But that's
Mike
not
doesn't
how it
know
works.
what he's talking about.
But that's not how
Mike
it works.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, the number one thing.
How many championships did Joe Mauer win? World
How many what?
He's arguing with baseball collector.
On the Twins.
Oh,
He's a twin. If Kirby Puckett ain't on the team, they don't win it.
Oh,
Hey, but
All right.
Posey beat his Texas Rangers, man. Smoked them. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Shots fired.
Come on now.
Shots fired.
All
Whoa.
right.
We know what the next live stream is. Baseball
Don't
collector
get me
versus.
started. Stay off my lawn.
Mike
Adolis
texted
Garcia
me,
should be in the
"Get
Hall
me
of
on
Fame."
there. Get me on there.
No, but I'm just saying, for these guys, it's tough call because these guys were so great. Dale Murphy, for instance, 3 or 4 or 5 years. Joe Mauers, you can name a bunch of players. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer at all, but Tim Lincecum, 4, 5, 6 years, he was the best in baseball. He's not a Hall of Famer. He didn't play long enough, but he was the best. Rick is dead.
Yeah.
No, look at him.
Rick's gonna start
All right,
spewing.
beautiful.
Dude, you got to put Stooks is pushing hard for Maurer, man. All the stats.
Dude,
Yeah,
this is
I
a
mean-
Hey, Mike.
Minnesota fan.
Didn't Mike fire you guys anyway, George and Don,
Yeah.
from the
I was waiting for a yellow jacket.
Yellow jacket.
He was looking at the Rays.
Again, I'm gonna say this again, man. This is what happens on our text messages, just right here, man.
all over the place.
All day
Oh.
long, man.
And this is kind of like our text because it doesn't have Bob on our. Bob's never on our text. It's right in.
He'll answer like out of the blue when
Yeah.
you least
3
expect
months
it.
will go by and you'll hear from Bob.
And poor James is the one that takes the biggest hit for all of us.
And I
James is
I
always
gotta
the punching
say-
bag. He's the nicest guy. He's the punching bag for all of us.
Well, he has to hide our text from his girlfriend.
that's why he went dark like 10 minutes.
Next player. Come on.
One thing I got to mention on
Oh.
here, there's one particular person that just begs the shit out of us to be a misfit. We all know who it is, Jake. Do you see him anywhere in the chat watching this?
Oh,
Very
that's a-
good appearance.
that's a big
Our
strike.
first ever. He can't even. Yeah,
There he is. 56.
There he is, baby.
look at that.
Hey, Mike, no. Look at now he's pandering. Actually, I want Don and George to guest host the podcast. Look at that.
I already have a signed contract. I'm bringing George on.
Sign it up.
Mike wasn't supposed to make that public.
I will say this. I think that you, James, and you, Lou, are a little sore at Joe Mauer because when he won the MVP, that was the year that Jeter should have won it. But Mauer went bananas in the last couple weeks of the season. You remember that?
I didn't want to be a homer. I didn't want to
Painful.
be, but
I didn't want to say anything.
out.
I really didn't. We got the championships. I'll just roll with that. But, we'll let him get his one little MVP.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Mauer was just overrated all the way around. I mean, he was Minnesota born, #1 draft pick for Minnesota, hometown kid, blah 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 blah. Whack. 140 home runs, 300 average, mediocre. He played catcher 5 years. He's whack.
Lou wasn't even
He's not-
alive back then, man. Lou, you didn't watch that Joe Mauer play. Come on.
I'm 42. Don't let the baby face fool you. I'm 42, baby.
So what are we on Mauer? Are we voting or what are we doing?
I'm a no on Mauer.
Okay, I'm going to know too, but I'm just giving him credit for the amount of. I mean, he was the best that 4 or 5 years.
Hey,
like I said.
Pitbull, Mr. 305. Is he a no or what?
If
I-
Natalie's
I-
not
I-
in,
I-
Mauer's not
I
in.
echo. Oh, I thought I was Pitbull.
Yeah, he hit Pitbull. Look at John looks like Pitbull right now with the black.
He's the Italian Pitbull.
Okay, so I echo Rick's comments. Feel the exact same way.
But John, when you talk, you gotta say "dale" every time you finish.
Hey, before we
I
get
want to
off,
tell you something. Pitbull stole my look. I was in Miami before him.
I don't even know who in the hell you guys are talking about.
No, 305 Worldwide. Pitbull.
Hey, let me ask you guys, how about on the I don't know what it's called now, the Veterans Committee or whatever, Lou Piniella. I know Lou is a big component of, Lou Piniella. I know obviously, John he's in his videos, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know. One World Series. I mean, lifetime amount of wins he's had, but as a player or as a manager, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Come on, Rick. There's nobody that kicked dirt better than him. Come on.
Yeah, he's the best
no, but
arguer.
I saw a live stream where Ray was in, Ray from Philly and a couple other guys, and they were saying he was a Hall of Famer. And I was just thinking, I said, no, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Dude, he led the league 6 years in a row in length of base thrown.
He's the best arguer.
Hey, he was better. Tommy Lasorda, Weaver, or Piniella? Let me tell you.
Ooh,
I tell you, Lou Piniella wasn't a bad baseball player. I thought he was good.
No, I'm just saying for kicking dirt and everything else out there.
I mean,
he told me that. He told me that Steinbrenner wanted him to do that. He said the fans ate it up.
By the way, one more thing. On the Mauer, nice. On the Mauer, I think Mauer's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that. See, George, I agree with George. If you're gonna go, I mean, it's
matter.
I don't know.
Now, in a year or 2 or 3, he gets in. He's got to get in. Again, Munson and Posey can't get in if Mauer doesn't get in.
Hey, easy now. Wait a minute.
But George, I never understood that argument.
You made him knock his camera down.
George is gone. Like, screw it.
But I never got that argument. Why, if he's a Hall of Famer, it doesn't matter if he should be on the 3rd ballot, 4th. He should be in. So what? Let's not get him in on the 1st.
Yeah, that whole ballot thing, I don't get that either. Hey, I'll be right back. You don't have to send me. You don't have to send me the lobby. You left me there too long.
We're the only 2 that don't leave.
No. Well, I was going to try to close this out.
Wait, we have Chase
wait till they
Utley,
come
Jimmy
back.
Rollins, David Wright, Jose Reyes, Victor Martinez. We got
how many are in the chat, Lou? I can't see. How many are in the chat?
We got 20 in the chat.
That's not bad. How about if I'm going to give away these cards here?
Oh, what do you want to do?
I got the Drew Henson.
That's all lose.
Oh, and I have a Roger Maris. You don't see this very often. It's kind of a beater, but and then I have the Fan Craze, which you never see.
I'll take the Hires root beer maze.
So you guys come up with, before we leave, come up with some kind of thing, a number. I can't see the chat, and I'll send them those cards.
Well, you decide. Is there double D's in the chat? You decide. What is cards?
Since you guys are saying that Adrian Beltre is a lock, right? They got to answer the question. Let's see. How many doubles did he have in his career? First one to answer that.
First one to answer that.
We could be here all night. Oh, they're gonna cheat. We won't be here.
Of course, bro.
Huh?
Those other phones are like, damn it. But the ones on the desktop are like, yes. Hey, we got 2 moderators. See who's the first one. Mookie says 519.
Who's the fastest typer? Google typer.
Baseball collector says 462.
Hodges 636.
Yeah, Mookie said 519. Hodges 636.
460.
Baseball collector.
I think Hitman got it right. 1 bazillion.
1%. Concrete.
Well,
no one's hit it yet.
Under Baseball Reference is 636.
All right. 636. That's Godlike Collectibles, a newer channel that I found.
No, Hodges got it first.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, my bad. Hodges. Boom.
Tell them to vintageoddballcards@gmail.com. Vintageoddballcards@gmail.com. I'll send it to. Give me your information, Hodges, and I'll send you everything.
Right, Reindeer? I thought 1 bazillion was the correct answer, too. I didn't even know Scott was in there. He hasn't chatted all night. It's kind of like talking to him.
Scott's afraid of me, man, because I'm bugging him for. There you go. Vintage oddball cards.
Is that correct?
at Gmail.
And it's oddballs. Vintage balls, Rick.
I'm drinking.
He knows. It's vintage oddball cards at gmail.com. Or you can comment in my chat.
Nobody
in my
watches you.
videos.
What are you talking about?
Make another one.
What do you mean your chat? I don't have a chat.
I'm drinking.
There we go.
Why you keep kicking me out?
And I've been banned.
Why you keep kicking me out?
Drinks, went potty. I don't know.
I mean, I know I was like Tom Hanks in League of Their Own, but Jesus.
So are we going with other, players or what?
Yeah, I could do that, bro. Next is Chase Utley. I'm a definite no. Chase Utley.
That guy's a prick.
That guy's a great fucking baseball player, by the way.
I'm a yes on Chase Utley. Love that guy.
Dirty player, man.
No, that guy plays baseball like he should.
Yeah, I'm a yes.
Like Hal McRae rolling into Willie Randolph. Sorry.
He rolled into Scooter Road and almost broke
Chase
his
Utley,
leg.
he reminded me of Norm Cash. Very scrappy.
I'm going to say a yes because other than Robinson Cano, he was the best offensive player. And we know Cano was on steroids. So I guess that makes him the best second baseman of his era.
How about Jeff Kent?
Kent, I take all day. Best offensive second baseman of all time. Chase Utley
Jeff Kent was a better player than Utley.
No, but not his
defensively,
era, throughout his prime.
Does Jeff Kent have maybe I'm wrong. Does he have a steroid thing around him or no?
I don't think so.
No.
I never heard of
when he won the MVP when he was covering for Bonds, the San Francisco.
Well, he batted third, Bonds batted fourth. So
that's what it was.
That's how he got a lot of his stats, but he was good. Second baseman.
Still got to prove it though. I take Jeff Kent over to Chase Utley, 275 lifetime, 259 home runs, 1,000 runs batted in, 6 All-Stars, 4 Silver Sluggers. He was no Gold Gloves, no MVPs.
All right, put that paper up for me.
Yeah.
No.
2008 World Series when they beat the Rays, nothing bananas. He was good. He wasn't phenomenal. He didn't.
All the guys on the ballot were good.
Would it surprise you if he has more All-Stars than Adrian Beltre?
Yes. No. I think it would. I know the answer.
Yeah,
you're bringing it up.
Beltre is only an All-Star 4 times.
In 20 years, 4 times.
Lou, don't kick me out. I got to go to the restroom again, but I'm going to leave it like this. I'll be right back,
bro. I got you.
Yeah, it's hard. These when you compare some of these modern guys, you look at like Hank Aaron. He went to the All-Star game like every year he played, and they put guys in that were in there a handful of times. It just seems odd. Like those old timers, they were staples at the All-Star games.
I think Utley was amazing. Like Don likes to say, eye test. Every time Utley was on his game, he was not only the best second baseman, he was like one of the best in the league. And for second base, that's like really good. Like
I thought he was a really good player.
He was good.
You too. If I was a general manager, I want this dude like he's going to his intensity would raise the level of other guys. Like him and J-Roll up the middle, they were awesome. They were really good. It's a shame they didn't get to more, get their pitching maybe wasn't bad. I don't know. But
the guy played 15 years, and defensively he was okay. No Gold Gloves, no power. He was all right. Yeah, he hustled because he had no athletic talent. He had to hustle. Overrated.
Oh man, was that cruel?
That was rough.
Major leagues had no athletic talent.
That was rough.
I don't think you could play in
Ryan
any
Howard
professional league
feared
without
people.
talent.
Ryan Howard was the guy that everyone feared in that lineup. No one feared Chase Utley. He was a guy, but come on,
Who did you say they feared?
He batted third, right? And then Ryan Howard batted behind him.
Yeah, because he had to protect Utley. They were getting the fastballs. They were trying to get Utley out.
I don't know. I just feel like he was better, the best player on that team, best second baseman not taking steroids of that era. And then at times he looked like the best player in the National League at times. Like he would go on the
I agree with James. I agree with James completely. I don't know like what you guys I don't know like this guy intensity, how good he was. Look it up, man. Did he hit 2 home runs in the World Series game?
Intensity, then he Dykstra. I mean, okay, he played hard, whatever.
Yeah.
The guy's
No. He enforced his will upon games. Like he really did. And he might be dirty in doing it, but he tried. It's like he was, I don't know.
In 2009, Yankees versus the Phillies, he was the one everyone wanted to walk from the Yankees. They'd rather pitch to Ryan Howard, Jimmy Rollins, whoever else, Worth, anyone on that line, but they did not want to pitch to Utley.
Exactly.
He wasn't scared of nobody, bro. He was batting 275 last time, 250 home runs. The guy wasn't scaring nobody. No Gold Gloves.
Oh, you're just mad because everybody didn't vote for Andrew Jones.
How many yes for Utley?
Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Oh, fuck out of here.
Well, maybe on the 3rd or 4th ballot, like Mauer.
I think Utley's going to get in the veterans ballot.
Oh, what were we voting for?
He's going to get it. He's a great
player. Was that a
player,
yes
man.
or a no?
It's a no from me, but it's real
Hey,
close.
George knows his baseball.
How about Johnny Ray?
Johnny Ray, absolutely, man. He should have won Rookie of the Year. They gave it to that
Barry
Steve
Bonds,
Sachs
Johnny
guy.
Ray? Rick, put that back up. Is that the Barry Bonds, Johnny Ray?
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. I didn't know you had that.
Johnny
You
Ray
don't
was a
watch my
solid
videos?
player.
No, I don't watch your videos.
You guys, Rick, do you,
Hey,
do you
Uncle
know?
Rick. Hey, Uncle
Tell
Rick.
us about that card.
Uncle
I want to
Rick.
know about that card.
Yeah, talk
Tell us
about that
about it.
card.
Well, I've had it
Because
for years, and
are-
I know John's going to make fun of me, but I decided, what the heck? I'll just grade it, see what it comes back. And I was thinking a 3, but it came back a 5, and
I'm
kind of
not
happy
going
with
to
it.
make fun of you. That's a great card. I want it.
That is a great card.
No, I didn't pull it out of a pack or anything. I just had it years ago, picked it up. It's overvalued,
It's just, it's so overvalued, and I want one,
Yeah.
but I just won't pay that price for it. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly.
And
I mean,
during the
I think
boom,
the pop
everybody's
report on it is like maybe 150 or something like that, compared to his.
Why is it rare? Like, what is the what's the issue?
It
I remember
says
those
Barry
facts.
Bonds. It says Barry Bonds.
No, I know, but what is the issue? It's 87 Donruss, but it's not 87 Donruss.
Well, it's
right?
opening day. It came in factory box, and so after about 2% were released, then they were pulled, and it's only about 2% were released, basically.
Yeah, but the thing is there's tons of old Fleer and Donruss error cards with the wrong player here and there. It's and nobody's going to pay up for them. That just happens to say Barry Bonds on it. But I'm a true Johnny Ray fan. I would like the card because I was a Bonds fan. I was a Johnny Ray fan. I'm a Pirate fan. But like I said, I'm not going to pay $1,200 for it or something. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the same with Nate was saying the same thing, and Nate's a huge, obviously a Bonds collector, and he wouldn't pay for something like that. But
yeah,
I was
that's
just lucky enough
somebody
to
like
have it
me
and got it graded. So
somebody like me who's a fan of both of them, would be willing to pay it. But I can think of probably get.
here's
probably
the
Ty
one that
Cobb or
was
something you could get.
corrected right here. That's a corrected version.
Oh, let me get you.
So card 163.
Hey, Rick, so, and maybe
Put
you
it-
don't know
put it
this.
side by
Did
side.
they use that picture for Johnny Ray's card that year?
Yeah, it was 162 was his card. The error was 163,
Okay.
and people say that they just Bonds, he was coming out of college, but with the air stuff where they started kind of pretty much, it was like in 1990 roughly, right, when all these air cards came out. So they were saying, well, maybe they fiddled with this, but I don't think so. I think it was just an actual air card. That
They were
realized
printing
that-
so many cards in '86. '86 is like the beginning of the junk wax era, really. Like '86, it all just happened, and they just had all these sets, and everybody. Revco had a set, Woolworth had a set, Walgreens had a set. And they just
Woolworth,
were shit.
Kmart.
But I don't think they purposely did
Kmart,
that.
everybody.
The air. So people are saying, well, they purposely. I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
Bonds wasn't,
I couldn't argue with 86 at all. I couldn't argue if you said 85 or 84 even. But I don't know why, but I always associated it starting in 87. That to me seemed to be when all the just crazy numbers started being produced.
Yeah, no, it was Bonds, it was Canseco, it was Joyner, Incaviglia, it was just a mass of shit. I remember.
Yeah.
A wave of
It
a
was-
bunch of kids.
Yeah, so many great players at the time, so everyone was trying to be the first of whatever. Like Canseco, I was chasing Canseco forever. The 86 tops, anything with Canseco. Canseco was the guy, man. I loved him.
It is
40
so unbelievable how long he was the guy and then it just ended. Right?
Yeah.
Like you would never have thought. A lot of these players are like that. They're just like the man for years. And then they
many
just
home
kind of
runs
fall
did he
off in popularity.
Canseco was like around 430, 450 home runs, right? Career. He held on to the end trying to get 500, but he has to be up there.
Dude, he was a monster. He was a monster.
Not in the field,
Hey,
though.
Lou, how many Corey Snyder rookie cards did you chase back then?
I wasn't chasing Corey Snyder.
No?
No, I wasn't chasing. I wasn't at Corey Snyder.
How about Carl
I
Crawford?
did.
I was chasing Carl Crawford's cards.
I had a lot. Yeah, I got a lot of Crawfords. Being in Tampa too, Crawford was.
Dude,
Was the
86,
guy.
I was a freshman in college. I was chasing girls.
How about Will Clark?
Hey, did you catch any of them? Or
No,
were they running too fast?
they're running too fast. I just got that. Never mind. I'm not-
Yeah, you think I should get this graded from Jake or what?
Yes, absolutely.
Is
Just
that
in
a
some
pinball
cases,
bottom or
Yeah.
Oh, you
Piss him
have to
off.
grade it just to piss them off.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ooh,
You'll get it
I
graded.
like it. So
It'll be
there's
the
actually-
reverse. I am cracking one. You'll get it
Hey,
graded.
put it up again. Let's get the grade.
no,
Let's get
there's
the
a
grade.
nice.
It's centered nicely.
Yeah,
that-
there's a nice
creep?
crease.
Yeah, that's the one.
1.5. That's a
I give it a
1.5.
0.5.
0.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a
I would
grade.
love to see a 0.5.
Do you guys remember the first time you ever saw Jake snap a slab? And it's like, I think I watched him snap a slab of a Clemente rookie. And I'm just like, who's this young guy with this leprechaun beard? I'm like, Jesus, please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up.
Got the Aaron rookie out too.
You remember when he had that contest and it was like, if you truly care about graded cards, you had to do something, and he wouldn't crack the card out. Remember?
Yeah.
And he still cracked it. Did he crack it?
I know it was a Ralph Kiner. I can't remember if it was a rookie.
He did
And,
crack it.
I remember it was
crack
a Ralph Kiner card.
I think it might have been the Bowman. I could
I
be
got it wrong.
53.
What the crazy one?
Yeah, I
was
think it
when-
was the 53. I think it was the 53.
The crazy one was when he watched that chasing cardboard, and Ty was cracking that card right down the center right here.
That,
Yeah.
what does
Was
Markovich say?
the Beckett slab or was the Beckett or PSA?
No,
I
I
it
don't
was a
remember. I
PSA.
was scared for him. I was scared for him.
Beckett's the
man.
hardest
right off,
ones to
didn't do the
crack
corner.
out for sure.
Hit right down the
Wait, I
middle.
do this 1,000 times. His technique was to snap it directly in the middle and hope that it cracked like a cartoon, straight up. Just crack follows.
Okay, so
Everyone knows the corner. And
That was all
he killed
theatrics.
if you take a Beckett slab, they're thick, right?
I'm gonna crack one online.
You
Nice.
snap it with that channel lock right down the middle, right there, with a Beckett slab. It will
Hold
go
up.
right in the middle, and you pull the card right out. Now I know that sounds messed up, but like if you snap it right there with a channel lock, it's with Beckett, not PSA, not SGC.
That's what he was doing with the PSA. And
With a PSA.
he did it with a PSA, clipped in the middle, and got the card. This was a practice card. I'm like,
Yeah, you
ooh.
screwed up the practice card, right? Didn't you?
Yeah,
I
no,
always do the- I always do the
there's no way
corners.
to do this.
Who was
Pops
doing
right
it?
out.
The corners are the safest. Yes, the corners are the safest because you can get your flathead and you can work the slab and pop it off. 'Cause
Right.
They pop once. Yeah. I don't go anywhere near the card whatsoever. Stay away from the card.
Right.
But
Well,
like having the
some-
power, I gave TJ Mack Vintage Cards, who's a great member of the community. I gave him a wrench. He always has something good to say. And he's back to Chase Utley. You put the guy with no arm at second base. Correct.
There you go. Put Orlando's up. This is what we were saying earlier about Jake. No, the next one. There you go.
No, I mean the guy has to put work in, and he doesn't put the work in. So you know what?
Here on here. All
You
right.
know what?
He
I don't even know what-
absolutely would not use the rope and the cinder block. So you got to go through these things.
The maiden voyage, and he couldn't show up for it.
Aiden boy.
Hey, did we get any more subs?
And you know what? I don't know.
We don't care
We're
about
up to
subs.
103.
Rick,
We
why do you
cracked
care about
100.
subs? Your other channel doesn't have any.
Oh, the liquor is
Hey,
flowing.
Take this.
Salud.
Take that,
Salud.
pal. Look at this beauty.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
he
throw-
snaked
let's
it.
throw some-
Oh man,
Take
rubbing
that.
it in.
Hold on. Oh yeah, John is in pain right now.
That's
Serious
not
pain.
Look
right.
at that beauty.
That's not right.
What year is
Take
that, Rick?
baby.
What year?
It's 1960 National Bank, Tacoma Giants.
I was
So how
there when
many-
he snaked.
Yeah.
None.
See, now he's quiet. Now he's quiet.
He's crying.
You know what? Let me go get my Briggs maze.
Oh, look at you. Well, let me get Here we go. No.
I'm gonna need you
Look
guys.
at-
Look along, Garrett.
Look at Donnie with the All Star.
Donnie,
My-
you're
There
an
we go.
all-star.
Orlando's
My name
talking the
Matt.
truth
My
there.
brother.
Wait. I got a question. We're talking Hall of Famers. Is
Yeah, well,
Don
you're
getting
the Hall of
in
Fame.
his first year of eligibility?
Oh, what were we saying, James?
Is Don Field of Dreams getting in his first year of eligibility?
I don't
Been back-
know. Like Chase Utley, he didn't have any MVPs. He didn't have a great throwing arm.
He's kind of slow.
Yeah, people have to like you, and I just don't know.
But just like Chase Utley, he's a hustler, man. He goes live every 2 days.
Well, that's so
You
bullshit.
are so correct.
I've been live like a month.
But like George says, his first ballot, maybe in his third or fourth year of eligibility. Not this year. I don't know.
You and James, you
know.
guys did a weak
Yeah,
class.
I don't know if he's a first ballot.
It's,
He's
hey,
the only
this is-
misfit not in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, it's not looking good, Don. You're making us
That's
look
what's gonna hurt me. Dylan thought I was already in.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're gonna have to get him in,
Yeah.
just not to embarrass the rest of the misfits.
You know what?
There it is, right there.
Oh, look at
I
that.
need to go in the car. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I got mine.
For having my mom on a video with me.
Yeah, I
That
saw
was
that.
awesome, by the way. Happy birthday. Was that a birthday for your mom?
Yeah, it's a. You guys,
That
that
was-
was like the 8th take. My mom's memory is a little bit shaky, and she can't hear. It's like, you remember buying cards? No. It's like, That just killed him.
That's going to be Don's problem. See, Don. Everyone thinks Don's already in the Hall of Fame, man. So no one's going to vote for him.
I know.
We have to get the vote out.
We could use
Rock the vote.
we could use some money.
Hey, this channel is not to start campaigning for Donnie.
We need to get sponsored.
So you guys want to see
I love
something?
Orlando. Orlando.
Damn, Orlando.
Don, the Banes of the Misfits.
Damn, I just love Orlando, too.
You gotta put that.
You see, and that's why he's a moderator. That's why he's a moderator.
I am unsubbing Orlando. No longer subbing that channel.
Are you done?
Oh my god.
Hey, I think we did. We got Mookie Chilson, Dream,
Yeah, why don't
TJ
you all
Maxx.
five, you put your patch up now.
Get your patch up.
Well, that was in another house.
Yeah, that's what I want to job at 3 other houses.
Hey, Luke, can I show something to all the people out there? John would love this. PSA.
Solo, baby. Solo,
PSA,
baby.
PSA. So take a look at this card. It's a
Ooh.
56 Mente in a 5.
Beauty.
It's really nice. And then I showed this to you guys. There's something wrong with the back, and they graded it.
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Right now. Yep.
You see that?
Yep.
There's an H, like he's falling away. Like you think, oh, he's a football player, and that's a goalpost. No.
Yeah, I actually thought it was a goalpost when you show that.
Yeah, there's an H right there.
Another exemplary example of the experts.
And the experts graded this bad boy. I took it to them in Anaheim at the Burbank show, and I said, "What are you gonna do for me?" And they're like, "Well, you have to submit it for a review, and we have to look at it." And I said, "You can't look at that right now and like give me like give a grade guarantee or whatever." So this is an old slab, so it's been. I just thought it was funny.
The junk slab era, man. If you have old slabs, you gotta get a re-slab.
It isn't marked.
Yours is marked right there, right?
To the right of his glove, there's the goalpost.
AKA H.
Mm-hmm.
And they give it a 5.
It's
They're
a straight
experts,
5,
man. Nothing gets by them.
The PSA new
Absolutely not.
These errors are daily occurrences.
Rick, this is for you.
Oh,
This is,
yeah. 61.
All right, I made it almost 2 hours.
Falstaff Brewery.
Falstaff. There was Falstaff
Yeah,
right around
Falstaff.
the corner from my house. In San Jose, there's a little Falstaff brewery.
Remember that Dave, Blue Jacket 66, his dad and him were on Satchel Paige's porch drinking, and his dad was drinking Falstaff beer with Satchel.
Yeah.
Great story. Great story.
That was
I
a
love
great
that.
story, man. Is Don just like, I'm out? Look at the card room.
Yeah. We heard his feelings. And guys, for the people still in the chat, we still got 19 people, I think, 19, 20 people. We do this to him in the text. So don't feel sorry for fucking Donnie. This is what we do. This is what we do.
He's the biggest ball buster of all.
Oh, yeah. Don't let him fool you. That 6'4", 6'5" Shrek, he's the biggest ball buster.
Yeah,
He's
just
crying
because he
on-
cries on his videos, don't
He's
let
crying
that
all
fool you.
the time. Don't let him. He's a sensitive soul. No, he's the biggest ball buster of all of us. Don't let
52 Boogie.
Hey, I need that one. I need that card.
bro.
I've been shopping for like months.
Did you watch the It Ain't Over video? Or It Ain't Over on Netflix, James?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo,
I loved
documentary.
I
was
cried at the
phenomenal.
end a little bit.
That's how I know I'm getting old. That's how I know I'm getting old. I had a little single tear.
I agree with his granddaughter, though, when they did the 4 greatest living players and they left him out.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was bad. But when they kissed and made up at the end with Susan Wallman and everything, I couldn't help it, man. That just came out, and then another one came out. It's like, oh my god, I'm such a Yankee fan.
It's like, but who do you take out? I mean, it's got to be Johnny, right? I mean, the four,
Five players. To be honest, they should have had all. They couldn't pick anyone out. They should have just included him.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, why they stop at 4? Like, why doesn't Yogi just walk out there? I mean, he's the man. 3 MVPs. I mean, they even said he was the backbone. 3 MVPs in that lineup. Yogi, and he was at like 5'8", crushing it.
Yeah. I was watching the Capital of Baseball last night, inning 7 of Ken Burns' documentary. I watched the whole thing, just sitting there, and my wife was watching with me, kind of doing her own thing. And Casey Stengel, said like in the video, in the documentary, it's like I don't ever play a game without my man.
Right.
Never play a game without my man. And you're like, well, who is it? Mantle, Maris, Ford? It's Yogi. Never managed a game without his man. And I'm like, dude, that guy was awesome.
And look at what Taylor Swift is doing for Kelsey. Kelsey is probably going to be the MVP this year.
Well, I have to tell you, the NFL is becoming unwatchable with this crap.
I'm gonna say I'm such a big Kelsey right now.
Hey, John, let me just tell you something. Maybe for you, I put on the Eagles and Chiefs game in my household, and I had my 2 daughters, my high schooler, and Bob.
Oh, I know.
And Bob was
no
like,
doubt.
and Bob was like, "Oh my God, are they going to show Taylor Swift?"
Yeah.
And she knew.
I
and
know.
my wife knows. Now she follows the podcast, and she loves Jason Kelsey and his wife. And
Dude,
it's pop culture. They know their jersey numbers.
All these women and girls that never watched a game before, don't even know what their teams are called, are all of a sudden tuning in. I know. I have it in my house too.
And the sad thing is,
it drives me crazy because they're like, "Is Kansas City playing? Is Taylor Swift there?" It's like, leave me alone with this stuff.
I don't. But they're watching it. Like, God, both Kelseys are playing, and I have no interest because the Bucks are terrible. I don't really care. It's just Monday Night Football. It's almost like background noise. I'm the one watching YouTube. I'm watching, my guys. I'm watching you guys, and the girls are watching the damn Eagles Chiefs game because of Bob is just waiting. She's like, when is Taylor Swift showing? When is
right.
going to show? I'm like, baby, they're not going to show a concert. She's like, I don't care. I just want to see it. So that's just pop culture.
They're not going to show a concert.
Hey, George, one thing going back to that Yogi documentary, I didn't realize how much he used to get ribbed for the Jackie Robinson play, and they would say he was safe, and they was like, he was out. Everybody was ribbing with that. That was great.
Well, like when they interviewed Joe Gary, I can never pronounce his name,
Garagiola.
And he's just like, most people are the best in their hometown. I wasn't even the best on my street.
Yeah.
From him.
That's crazy. They both made it to the pros.
I know.
Yeah, like the 49 Yogi Berra, which I love that. I mean, the 50 Bowman is probably the best, but the 49 is great. And on the back of it, it says something like, "This Sandlot boy from Missouri, blah blah blah," and it's great, man. It's just like Americana, and
the back of baseball cards in the 40s and 50s were the best. I don't care what anyone says; they were the best.
The 70s too.
Yeah, I give you that. I mean, there's some good stuff, but I wish they go back to the great storytelling, like the personal, like the nice stories of their background. Now they don't. It's just all stats and there's no person.
It always amazed me the time they took to write those backs and the time they put into it just for little kids. If you think about it. Like these weren't, they're not writing these for adults. They were writing them for little kids who were buying bubble gum. And the effort that they put into it, you have to appreciate that.
What would they write now? Mike Trout in the offseason bought another Lamborghini. Before in the offseason, it's like Joe was the milkman or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Don, on the card you showed, that Clemente, it says, what is it like? It just talks about it's cartoons, right? You don't have to blow me up, Luke. Lou, but it's like is it your like it's like Roberto signed signed first by the Dodgers for a bonus. These cartoons, they really they were geared towards kids. It wasn't like we're doing cartoons with Camel cigarettes trying to sell cigarettes to kids. We're like gearing towards kids, you know, and
You're trying to sell them the Brooklyn Bridge and not to go to the Pirates.
That's
I never noticed that before until just looking at it.
But I mean, like I remember like looking at the 41 play ball, and it's like at the bottom it says like Blony gum, and I'm like, why do I know Blony gum in my mind? I don't know. I never bought Blony gum, but it's like just they just were trying to get kids to buy some stuff, and this was the way you did it. You made some cheap cards and you sold gum. Like it was like just a completely different time, and I think that frankly, we grew up a lot more similarly to our parents than the kids now are growing up to us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great.
There was much less of a gap.
Yeah, I'm not. I never thought in my life when I was riding to the store and my BMX bicycle to go buy some baseball cards for 35 cents a pack, and Don, you and John, and you're buying them for 25 cents a pack, and Rick's buying them for like free. But anyway. But I mean, like, I never thought to myself, like, this is, what's the government trying to do to me? What are they trying to sell me? Blah, blah, blah. I was just like, man, I got $2 in my pocket and they're burning a hole in my pocket. And if I can ride 3 miles to the store, with my buddies, if I can convince them we get some baseball cards and hang out and maybe play a few video games and we can chew some gum. I don't know. Maybe that's just my memory.
2 things. First of all, Rick couldn't even buy them. Rick, you had to stand outside the store and wait for guys to open up their cigarettes to get them, right?
Exactly.
And George, that Blony gum, wasn't that the Sport Thrills? Wasn't that the 48 Sport Thrills?
I think they got it on that, and I think they got it on 41 Play Ball. Maybe it's
yeah. But the Sport Thrills, you used to, I guess when you would buy, I think if you bought 2 pieces of gum, they gave you a card. Those weren't issued in packs. They were handed out. I think you had to buy 2 pieces of gum for 5 cents or something like that.
Yeah, this was a lot of money, for kids back then.
Man, we used to walk so far to get packs, like nearly every day. We would scrounge up any change we could find. And back then it was just change. Oh,
it was all change.
And, well, I just wanted to say that's the one thing growing up when we did, it was fair. Like no matter how poor you were, you could always scrounge up a quarter here and there to buy some cards.
I never thought.
And nowadays it's not like that. How many cards can a poor kid buy today?
I was the other way. Everywhere I looked was baseball cards. I go to the damn 7-Eleven, I get Slurpee, baseball cards. Gas station, baseball cards. Kmart, my favorite spot to buy baseball cards. Woolworth, everywhere. They were everywhere.
They were everywhere.
But they were cheap as well.
Yeah.
Dude, my phone is the battery is almost dying. I'm gonna gracefully bow.
That's all good. I mean, we've been talking about 2 hours. I just want to tell the people still with us. We still got about 20 people in the chat. This is just
I got nothing better to do, man.
Yeah. This is never going to be scheduled. It's just whenever one of us want to get on live, talk to somebody, hang out with, either with each other or just to do an interview or whatever. That's what this channel is meant for. It's not going to be something that's going to be regularly on a certain day at a certain time. It's just whenever we feel like it. And the great content that we have is going to be on our channels. Donnie's going to do his thing. John's going to do his 6 videos a day. Going to stay on his channel. George every 6 weeks. And Rick, when he figures out how to press record and do an upload, that's it. And that's what this channel is about. It's just for fun.
And then Bob.
I think it's more just I miss these guys. It's not the liquor talking. I miss them. Can't wait till Cleveland. And that's really what this channel is about. And I just refreshed. We're at 109 on this channel. And we got 1 live stream. So I think we're well on our way to I think that's the only way Donnie gets in the Hall of Fame, by the way. After 3 years of this channel, Donnie will finally be a Hall of Famer.
Appreciate you doing that, Lou, because I need all the help I can get.
I said. All right, so any of you beautiful people got something to say before I end it?
Oh, wait a minute. Before you end it, put Dylan's last thing up. His last comment.
Double D.
I am so
they don't
double
want
D
none.
stoked for the national.
Let's see a Four Collectors Misfits live stream. We'll do it. Sports
Take this.
Jeopardy. Card knob.
I don't think they have that many windows in StreamYard.
I'm
You
sure
gotta
they
pay
got it.
too cheap.
Hollywood Squares. Come on.
Oh,
We'll
hey,
do a
Don,
family feud.
I
hey,
got one
Henry's
vote.
hey, Stoops is voting for you. Stoops is going to vote. Yeah, we'll vote.
I think Don's going to have the all-time vote.
Please,
He's
I
gonna
get-
have
Hey,
the most-
before we leave here, maybe James wants to make a statement about his firing from Four Collectors.
Oh, yeah. Let's make an official
I was not fired, man. You know
fired
what?
on your
I
day
was
off.
like, who was that guy that every time he tried to leave, they dragged him back in? What was that saying? The Godfather or
fired
on
something?
your day
Corleone. That was me,
I
man.
think that was The Godfather Part 3. Just when I think they're out, they drag. Just when I think I'm out, they drag me back in.
I try to lighten my load, and then John Mangini 2 weeks later starts up the Misfits, and I'm like, I thought I was out. What the hell? And that was it.
Hey, it was just
Bro.
a suggestion. Lou jumped all over it.
You're the one that created the channel.
Yeah, after you told me to.
Hey,
we're over 2 hours. We did it.
All right, guys.
James, you've always been a
Thanks
misfit.
everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
appreciate it,
It was
everyone.
fun.
Now you know what we deal with on a day.
Guys, enjoy yourselves.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone.
happy Thanksgiving, everyone. For sure.
Happy
George.
Thanksgiving.
George,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Chase Utley for the Hall of Fame, baby.
I love him, man. He's great. Not yet. Not ready. Not ready to accept
Not
Chase.
ever.
Why?
Not ever.
Third ballot.
3.5.
Boo.
See you guys.
All right.